where we sold out a week before the event.
World Cup Finals, it's the biggest stage a stick shift racer can stand on. Every fall, the fastest cars on the planet roll into Maryland. Over 300 racers from 12 countries and 11 classes battle it out for $275,000 in cash payouts. Some arrive ready, some arrive untested. We showed up with our Mitsubishi Evo 8, the Black Zenith EVO, and a belief that heart beats horsepower. You don't come to World Cup Finals for an easy week. You come to find out who you really are. Nothing is given, every pass is earned. Our Evo fought us the whole time, but this is a story about refusing to quit. So with World Cup, it's a very difficult mental battle from the very moment that you show up. It's all about strategy, right? Because when you get there, you gotta get there early enough and start stacking your trailers. And it's a long, painful waiting process. And there's a lot of anticipation that goes into showing up to World Cup and racing a car as it is. But then as you get there, it takes forever to get situated, and then you have to make the difficult decision of, do I want to test my car or do I want to save my car for qualifiers? When your race program goes through as many changes as we did in the last year, there's a lot of high expectations for results, which is what all those changes are based about. The objective is to always go faster. Certainly winning events is the icing on the cake, but the ability to go faster and the accolades that come with it is really what drives my passion, is the opportunity for progression. In addition to the actual race program itself, we made a lot of changes to make sure that the team is always having a good time, and we have a lot more flexibility with our days so that we're able to enjoy ourselves more while we're at the track and we're not working hard. Naturally, there's no dull moments when you're at World Cup, and it all started with the golf cart for us. When we were pulling it out and starting to, drive it around and mess about, which is what you do when you get there, we came to realize that thing had taken quite a bit of abuse over the last few years of racing. So one of the first things we noticed was that one of the triangulation brackets on the push bar itself had a crack in it. So we ended up racing over to Nick Coleman's camp and borrowing his welder, getting that fixed up. We realized the Heim joint on the end of that was bent, so luckily I carry it back up with pretty much everything. We got that replaced. And then we realized that the golf cart wasn't starting when we wanted it to, so we had replaced the starter generator on it. And at that time I was pretty excited because the law of averages and repairs was, stacking up already while we were there, and it had nothing to do with the race car. So if we were working on that all weekend, that would have been amazing. Tech inspection actually went through pretty easily and smoothly. When you're in stick class, tech is a lot more simple at World Cup because you're in a class that there's really no rules. As long as you're meeting the safety requirements and the standards that they have in place by the NHRA, such as making sure you have an NHRA license, making sure that your cage is certified and up to date, along with all the rest of the safety equipment, you usually don't have a problem with tech inspection. So that is one of the reasons I ended up going to the stick class. Plus, the car's a stick car, so it should be the most badass class that there is. So we decided, which was obviously a bad decision, to forego the testing, because if we would have possibly done the testing, who knows where we would have ended up in the whole situation on the back half of it all. But first round qualifier was to get out there and get on the track and make a solid first pass. Having the confidence behind us, the car gives us little bits of hope where it'll run a world record pass out of nowhere, or it'll break the world's dyno horsepower record for us. And off the dyno and the testing that we did, we were confident that when the car showed up, it was going to behave. while we were hooking up the push bar on the race car, where the push bar hooks up to the chassis on the rear of the car underneath the parachute, one of the welds was cracked. So we ended up having to race the car over to Nick Coldman's in order to borrow the welder yet again and weld that up. Yeah, we were off to an early start with a lot of excitement.
Please do not go down the racetrack unless you are an MIR official. Massive crash here.
Facebook page, the revised schedule is there for the remainder of the weekend.
The most exciting part of World Cup finals is when you first get out on the track with the crowds packed. I mean, the energy in that facility is unlike any other race.
Let's go! Let's go!
The S2K right side here to Tennessee, and Ben Hochman in the left lane Evo 8. We'll get ready to go side by side.
Evolution por el carril izquierdo.
159 short there for Thomas West. 155 for Hochman. Top end. It's 877 to 849 for Hochman.
First pass, sure enough, it didn't behave.
Still breaking up. I mean, I made a pass, but didn't want to do a burnout again.
I mean, despite the fact that it didn't run very clean, it was our cleanest pass of the weekend, and it got us into the competition. As soon as we started realizing that we were having issues with misfires, we were falling back on our past experience with having a lot of valve train issues. And we've changed ourselves over to a new, what I'd call hybrid solid lifter configuration, which is a combination of GSC high profile cam and Tomei solid lifter configuration, which is the solid lifters that Tomei makes for the 4G63. So at the recommendation of Greg Lewis over at GSC, I went ahead and ordered a set of those along with a tremendous amount of shims, which is what you need in order to get things really dialed in. The nature of a solid lifter is that it's going to have some clearance, changes based on whether the valve seat is moving at all or if expansion and contraction of heat is going to close up that valve lash. And we were seeing what we suspect to be movement in our valve seats because it was closing up with each pass. So we were shaving the bottom side of that solid lifter because we were already on the smallest shim that we had, and we couldn't tighten it, open it up any further without having to do that. We're really religious with making sure that things are set the proper way.
Going to be Ben Hochman and Javier Davila. Davila being that Starlet, that White Machine Tower side. Remember his name last year after it was Nathan Rotenberry. Went in front of him. An unfortunate accident. Hochman drove around him in that Evo 8. So Hochman has been in the 7s before. Now if he can repeat that, could put him just around that top 5 spot.
I'm at my breaking point with this thing. I mean, I've worked on it for several years now, and it's given me some performance and almost a new best, but I can't take the disappointment anymore. So Q2, we lost cylinder 3 pretty well. I mean, that's really after we did the lifter shaving. Lifters.
There's about 10% increase in fuel, and that put out cylinder 3. But what we've learned with this beast is it likes to be on the lean side. And if you're not there, we've got a very, very small window to work within, and if we're not there, things like this happen.
Stick shift cars. Start line now. Brian Gary, Ben Hochman. And neither car with a good launch there, so throw aways. Fair.
And then round 3, we ended up bogging the launch, and again the car didn't perform well because it was still misfiring. I mean, we rolled into boost and got some data, but that wasn't anything to be excited about.
Top end, he got it! 701 and 200 miles an hour.
Round 1 eliminations, we got stacked up against Josh Manning with his C6 Corvette. That thing is, you know, a full second faster than my best time, so I had to be dead on it. He ended up running a 6.7 in his qualifier.
Ben Hochman in the right lane, the Evo 8. Josh Manning on the left side. Well, both guys are struggling so far. Hochman's going to be out in front. Maney's going to try to fight back. Top end of the racetrack at the stripe. He's going to drive around him. Josh Manning will drive by. 935, 200 miles an hour.
I'm over this shit, dude. I'm over it. Like, what a disappointment. I fucking got out of it because I didn't want to hurt my car. I didn't expect him to fucking drive past me. Shit! I don't know if I would have been able to fucking stay in it and win that or not. Fuck, man! I didn't think you were gonna catch me. I let up. Congratulations.
Yeah, we thought you had him the whole time.
I had him, dude. I let out because I didn't want to hurt the car. I was trying to keep it together for the next round. That was totally my fault. I'm sorry. I've put every resource, every imaginable resource I have from various networks all over this thing. And I don't know why it won't perform. Like, it's so frustrating. Let's get it back to the pits. Let's celebrate having a positive attitude throughout this whole event, despite whatever happened.
When we raced, he ended up what appeared to be blow the tire off right on the line. So I ended up getting way out ahead of him. Unfortunately, we were still misfiring on a cylinder, and thinking I had more than enough gap on him, I let out because I wanted to save the motor. That motor's taken so much abuse at that point. I was hopeful to at least make it to second round, which was going to be a same day thing, and there's no way we would be able to do that if we ended up losing the motor. So I let out, I think, around the 1,000 foot, and somehow Josh came around me at 200 miles an hour at the very end. So we got eliminated in the first round, which is a first for us in World Cup. So after being eliminated in the first round, it was pretty obvious that we knew what the issue was. It had to be an ignition-related issue, and I've had my suspicions about that for a while. So much that I had a SparkTech Pro CDI box in my trailer, a full ignition system for that matter. And I spoke to Rick, and he agreed that we should go ahead and change it over so that we could try and get this thing to finally run, because if it's the ignition system, we've got a plan, a solution, and it can be set in motion right away. So that's what we did. We ended up ripping that out of the box, pulling the smart coil configuration off the car, and putting the new CDI box on, and the car definitely has a couple of them. We did that on Sunday because we anticipated being able to do the private test and tune that they offer normally directly after the event. Unfortunately, with the rain that canceled the event itself, they also ended up canceling the test and tune that was going to follow directly the day after, which left us pretty hopeless leaving the track. So once we got back to Illinois, we realized that our local drag strip, Great Lakes Dragaway, was still open for the season, weather depending. And we were pleasantly surprised to see that the weather had come around and they were open for us to go do that. So the team gathered and prepared to set the car down the track. Burnout definitely showed signs of new life in the car. I mean, completely different animal. So lining up, I was extremely excited, really hopeful. The car came out extremely strong, probably too strong. I probably had way too much RPM in it. Shifted into second gear. Definitely, the car is back alive. As soon as I go to shift to third gear, unfortunately, there is no third gear there. We lost third gear.
No! No, please no!
The car seems to be powered. I lost third gear.
Lost.
As soon as I went for third, not there. I am so upset right now. I cannot even express to you how disappointed I am at this moment. I don't have the trans here. I wasn't anticipating to have the trans swap today. That wasn't part of the plan. Like, I wasn't gonna. I cannot believe this. The weather's perfect. We're here with the car. The car's finally seems like it's fucking ready to go. And now, transmission. Something is wrong with the transmission now.
And we're hopeful that maybe it might be something with the shift cables that have caused the issue. And we came to find that that's ultimately the reason that it wasn't going fully into gear and was causing it to round off the teeth in that gear. Without a backup transmission on hand, because again, this was kind of an informal day that we weren't really expecting to spend a lot of time. We just wanted to test the car and see if we could get some confidence back in it. The guys were determined to see if we could get it to run. So, discussing the fact that we do have a backup trans back at the shop, Trevor and Tom decided to go ahead and hop in the truck and head back and pick that up while Troy, myself, and Peter got started on pulling the car apart. And somehow the film guys ended up staying to do the mechanical work, and the mechanical guys ran to go get the transmission, which could have been a fun documented process. But either way, the job got done. When they got back, we got that transmission swapped in there, new fresh clutch, new billet transfer case that we had never played with yet, and lined the car up. We were super excited because, I mean, we had conquered everything at this point. We finally conquered the ignition system that has haunted me over the last couple of years. I mean, to finally be past that and know that it's behind us is one of the most amazing feelings, but it was one of the most difficult things as a team that we've ever experienced. So lining that car up, it was like having new life. And having a new transmission and clutch and transfer case underneath it really built confidence in me. So we went out there and launched that car, and I'll tell you, it came alive. And hit second gear, the power kicks in, and I mean, it is overpowering the track. I'm all over the track, but I am not lifting on this thing. We hit third gear, it's definitely there, and we are still trying to keep this thing under control. Fourth gear comes along, and I mean, I can feel that the car is black again. It's an amazing feeling. But as soon as I feel like I'm ready to pull the chutes, I hear and feel a failure, and my heart stops. I shut the motor down, pop the hood, and my biggest fear is unfolding in front of me.
Car's back. Like, that motherfucker's obviously back now, right?
Yes, it is.
Totally back.
What?
Trans works great.
Yes.
Motor blew up.
Shut the fuck up.
Go look at it.
That motor that took all those misfires from the shootout to World Cup, all the issues that it experienced while we were trying to troubleshoot, mess around with valve train, I mean, all of those things. Once it finally saw real power, it was hurt to begin with, to the point where it just let go. So I'm confident that it was just simply due to the fact that it had so much wear and tear on it from those misfires. Misfiring a motor as much and as hard as we did with all the boost that we were running is so hard on it, and it's just not going to be able to sustain real power after dealing with that.
I've literally killed myself, physically, financially, mentally. I pushed my family to the limit, dude. My kids miss seeing me, and every single time I put it all out there, this is what I'm getting, and I don't know why. I don't think you guys deserve this. I think this team is a world-class team, and that this team deserves a world-class car, and this one just does not want to behave right now. I don't know why.
In stick shift racing, nothing is guaranteed. Not the pass, not the power, not the outcome. What is guaranteed is how you respond to the losses. And we're not going to give up. We'll be back with more boost. And that's a story that's still being written.